Single moms are not happy because they're losing a tax break while billionaires are gaining a tax break. Watch.
So now Republicans are talking about getting rid of the head of household tax filing status so that they can pay for all the tax cuts that they want for all their billionaire friends. Yeah, that means that if you're a single parent, you won't be allowed to file head of household anymore, which means you're going to lose that tax credit that you normally get, that tax break that you get. A tax break that has been around since the 1950s. Because back in the 1950s, it was believed that single-parent households should have a lighter tax burden. But because rich people apparently need more tax breaks, single parents like myself, who's a teacher, raising 2 children on my own with a deadbeat father who doesn't pay an ounce of child support, will now have to pay more in taxes so that some rich mother can have a yacht. And you people voted for this.
Yep. So when Trump and Elon were out there saying they're going to be fighting for the little guy, by little guy, they meant for themselves. Now watch as Nancy Mace tries to distract.
The gentlelady has used a phrase that is considered a slur in the LGBTQ community and the transgender community. And let me please finish without interruption. And
tranny. I don't really care. You want penises in women's bathrooms, and I'm not going to have it.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Let
disgusting.
Let the gentleman state his parliamentary inquiry.
To me, a slur is a slur. And here in the committee, a level of decorum requires us to try consciously to avoid slurs. You just heard the gentlelady actually actively, robustly repeat it. And I would just ask the chairman that she be counseled that we ought not to be engaged. We can have debate and policy discussion without offending human beings who are our fellow citizens.
That's Representative Nancy Mace, who is obsessed with transgender people and obsessed, I guess, with being mean. But why are they doing this? Let's see why.
They want us to believe that the reason we can't pay for our health insurance, the reason we can't cover rent, the reason kids are dying on the streets due to gun violence, the reason there's so much wealth inequality and that so many people live paycheck to paycheck is because of the immigrant, or because of the trans person, or because of your neighbor. They lied. It's because of corrupt billionaires like Elon Musk and corporations, not our fellow working people.
That's Representative Maxwell Frost nailing it. They're trying to distract by saying the fault of you guys not doing well economically is because of immigrants, it's because of transgender people, and it's because of your neighbors. It has nothing to do with billionaires wanting to get rich. Absolutely not. It has nothing to do with the fact that over the past 20, 30 years, the distance, the inequality between the lowest income people to the highest income people has just multiplied by thousands and thousands of percents. It has nothing to do with the fact that there's a guy, Elon Musk, who's worth over $200 billion, who somehow is getting a lot of access to the government. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with the fact that Elon Musk is getting contracts for his company from the federal government. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with the fact that billionaires just want to pay less taxes, that corporations have been paying less taxes. It has nothing to do with that. It's all the fault of transgender people. That's what they want you to think. That's how dumb they think you are. First of all, let's talk about transgender people. Let's talk about immigrants. Let's talk about DEI. Let's talk about all that stuff. The percentage of transgender people in this country is a lot less than these people Nancy Mace would have you believe. It's like the biggest issue for her. She's really into pushing this stuff because these are cultural wars. How dare these people be transgender? It's a cultural thing. So the people get angry and they go, oh, these transgenders, and then, oh, these immigrants, and then, oh, this DEI. Meanwhile, these tax breaks that are supposed to trickle down and help people like that first lady that you saw who was a single mother, they don't trickle down. You know what companies do when they get more money? They buy back more of their stock. You know what billionaires do when they get more money? They buy yachts.
Trump needs money, and he's not afraid to beg and scrape for it. He's even reportedly shaming corporate donors with the F word so that he can raise his goal of $500 million by June.
You're all people that have a lot of money. I know 20 of you, and you're rich as hell. So anything you are going to do, it quadruple it. It doesn't mean it's just, you know.
Insiders told Axios that Trump spoke with representatives of one company that reportedly stopped their contributions to the GOP following January 6th. He told them, "You guys made this amount of money last year, and you're gonna make so much more now because of me. But when I needed you, where the F were you? You weren't with me, and maybe you were with her." Her, of course, was referring to Kamala Harris. Trump was also confirmed to be seen raking a client and potential donor over the coals, again asking them, "Where were you the last 4 years?" Trump's fundraising is motivated by his intention to be seen as a strong president in his second term. In other words, not a lame duck. And his ambitious fundraising goal apparently is not even that ambitious. According to Trump advisors, the money is just pouring in at Mar-a-Lago. Trump doesn't have to lift a finger. Everyone's coming to him. We're looking at $500 million by June, and we're on track. It's sort of a target, but it's just a realistic projection of what's happening. Well, Trump's already been elected to the presidency. He, hopefully, will never get the chance to run another campaign. So who are these donors and what are they donating to? Well, donations are pouring in from a variety of industries, including healthcare, insurance, agriculture, finance, tech, and crypto, and they're often donating to the tunes of tens of millions of dollars. The donations are going towards the president-elect's inauguration account, the MAGA Inc. Super PAC, a political nonprofit called Securing American Greatness, the Republican National Committee, and Trump's Presidential Library Fund.
What book are you reading now?
Well, I'm reading,
Bonfire of the Vanities.
I'm reading my own book again because I think it's so fantastic, Tom.
And Trump, ever the childish and ever the vengeful, has kept track of those donors who had stopped donating to the GOP following January 6th and those that never resumed donations once the fervor died down. Axios reported, insiders say Trump's even pulling out corporate balance sheets and referring to the company's bottom lines as their executives, some carrying donations, come to meet him. Now the question is why these donors are so eager to be debased by Trump and then give him millions of dollars. One lobbyist said it plainly, echoing the sentiments of so many of these donors: "We don't want to get doged." Axios cites several other reasons, including ideological alignment with Trump, getting favorable legislation in the upcoming reconciliation bill that Trump and the GOP-led Congress are putting together, or avoiding public criticism from Trump that can drive down a company's value. However, don't call this a pay-to-play scheme. One of Trump's advisors says that that is not what this is. He says he'll take your money and then tell you, "I don't give an F what you want." He said that during the campaign. He's going to do what he wants, what the base wants. I feel like he threw in that last part about what the base wants out of obligation more than anything, because we must always uphold, at the very least, the illusion of a democracy in this country. But we all know that Trump will just do whatever he wants to do. Meanwhile, Mark Zuckerberg is trying very hard to keep up with the influence that Elon Musk seems to have over Trump and the incoming administration. So he is throwing Trump a black tie, invite-only ball, celebrating the inauguration. He's got a few other notable partners in throwing the party, including Tillman Fertitta, a billionaire CEO who is quite well known here around the Houston area. But outside of Houston, you may be a little less familiar with him. You'll likely be hearing more about him in the coming months and years, though. He's already being rumored to be our nation's next ambassador to Italy. Zuckerberg is also cozying up with Trump pal Dana White, with White now sitting on the board at Meta. So if this isn't an oligarchy or a kleptocracy or a plutocracy, then I don't know what is. Whenever funding dollars are revealed in an actual democracy, the candidates who can raise money in smaller amounts from a larger pool of donors is usually more successful in elections because their donations indicate that they have widespread support amongst the voting public. In Trump's case, we're seeing the exact opposite. He's getting donations of up to $20 million from a handful of individuals and corporations.